Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Trading Room for Thursday, November 6th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. So, that is our only session today, so we'll do away with that. Crude has hit both targets. First trade of the morning, not until 18 minutes after 9. Picks up 16 and 25. 41 ticks this morning. Flat on the micro Russell. YM in an early trade going way too far, obviously. Soybeans is flat. That long trade has canceled. Unleaded had took a full loss, 57 tick risk, and then got a partial getting 434 to stop at 417. So 17 ticks, that's 34 from 114. We're down 80, both target 1 and target 2 traders. Pound Aussie in a long trade, set up 834.08. That's gone through 3 targets, missed target 4 by 2 ticks. At the 58.8, target is at 158.8, target is at 159. Stop is 139. I would have either marketed out of that target 4 position or at worst probably taken I'd probably taken the at least target 3. Even target 3 is a lot of risk for that last couple of ticks. Marketing out of position probably would have been the better move. Still, may have lost a tick or 2 more, but you're still within a pip of the targets. Only by maybe you've lost a half pip off the target that way. Trailing position still in play at 139. Definitely going to be a one and done session for Pound Aussie this morning. YM continuing to session lows, and Dow futures stop it. Market opens and we pick up a short and it was way too fast. That already has gone to money management, so we'll track it, but it's not going to be a trade that we would have been involved in. Already at target. Soybeans with a short trade. Pound Aussie moves up to 142 for the stop. Short trade also on unleaded. Down 80 ticks. On unleaded after 2 trades. Full loss and a partial win. All right, YM stopped out on that long trade, so we'll look for a new setup there. Soybean short, Pound Aussie long, unleaded short. Taking some heat on that trade. Long trade on the YM. Time to get in. Plenty of time on that one. If you're not already in, it's still a get in sync. Soybeans back at the entry. And short. That was a quick stop and reverse on the YM. Looked like it might have been too fast. 8. Yeah, 5 seconds down. That was too fast to execute. That would have been a full stop out. I would expect. So the YM not having a good morning. Long too fast. We get a long that we can get in. It's a full stop out. That would be 38.76 ticks. The short's gone too far. It's already gone to money management, so we won't be able to get into that at all. And that trade stops out, so we're looking for a new setup now. Short trade on the micro Russell. Got to money management, so that is a break-even trade. We have a long setup that looks like it's right at the entry. Avoidable, I think, at this point. Yeah, it's not show now. Yeah, it's showing is still valid, so we did not hit the entry. Short trade. That one did trigger in. So short on the micro Russell. And one tick down. I mean 65.9. And that's a stop out. So we take take a break even and a full stop out on the shorts. Unleaded short trade, blue short canceled without triggering in. I'm sorry, that's on the YM. On unleaded, we took a full stop on the short trade that we were in there. Squeeze zone filtering us, keeping us out of a long trade. Pound Aussie moves up another tick. We did hit full fourth target, and a half pip beyond that. Now, I'm not trading on the charts that you're looking at. I'm actually trading on charts that are off screen. But yes, these are all in sim. Oh yes, and when I was looking to trade the inventory report yesterday, that chart was in sim. I had my live chart off screen. There is another. Yeah, that's a full loss. That's two full losses on the micro Russell already. Crude is done, so we're not taking long. Not to get a long trade, it looks like on micro Russell. Should be this bar. $69.6 looks like is where that should be. But it's got to get up there. I would push that to 69.8 around the 200. 200 sitting at 69.7. Puts it right on that. Yeah, that puts it right on that swing high, which I don't like, but don't want to adjust it too much. And one more tick puts us, right below 10-point level. That would be that would be key levels. Never did set up. So we set up a short instead. And that triggers in. Down, it needs to come down a tick. So it looks like 63.9. There's target 3. Taking 3 trades already. We can take one more loss, or if this is trade 4, we can take one more loss or 3 more trades. This trade and 2 additional. That's a money management, so we'll be at least break even on this trade. Now, since crude is done, I'm going to push unleaded up on top of that, so we can look at micro NQ. Wow, it's been active. So we go short. That's going to be a full loss. Long is going to be another basically full loss, and then we get a win on this third trade. That one's going to be stop and reverse at the stop of the prior trade. This one is, looks like it's gotten target 4. No, not quite. Looking for target 4. And pound Aussie moving up significantly now. Stop at 153. Micro NQ stopping out. 2 losses and a win. Target 3 and trailer just below target, just to target 2. Long trade setup now. So we got targets 2 and 3. And then the target 4 and trailing positions stopped out slightly greater than target 2. We got targets 3 and 4 on the micro Russell, stopping out at 64.2. Looks like we may get another short right at the session low. There's a long. I would say that one was avoidable. Spiked right to the entry and down. No, we didn't get a crossover on micro Russell, so no trade there. Micro NQ trade is off the table. Does it touch the end? Let's make sure it touched the entry. 14 3/4. No, it missed the entry by 2 ticks. So that is still a valid trade, actually. Soybeans. Didn't ever get that marked up with the. So we get target 1 and target 2. And we are trailing at 11.21 1/4. And I'm also looking for target 3 at session lows. All right, that did trigger in now. If this drops to the stop this time, it is a full loss, and that would end the session on the micro NQ. Unleaded picking up a short. Money management and target 1. $47 ticks. I'm not sure where we are. We were down 80 and then took this loss. IM took another full loss. Now we have a long trade. Money management on the long trade. We didn't see it get back short. So valid trade. We'll have to track it manually. There's target 2, so that's a win. So 2 losses. Was it 2 losses. Did we have a break even to start? Actually, Actually, we got caught up in that noise right there, so we should be done with the plan. Taking 3 losses. Soybeans will be one and done. YM stopping and reversing the short. Bad day on the YM. It's not in sync with the market. Market looks like it's kind of jittery. And that's going to be a couple of ticks below. 22, so it's going to be 19. Yep, we still got triggered in. So we're short. And now stop and works back to long. That actually has got to be an exit point because that's at least 6 trades. So YM has a bad day. Unleaded testing 20 SMA. See if it's surviving here. It's surviving so far, pulling back down a little bit. Let's see where we are. This one was 32.64, down 144. And that's a stop out. So target 1 traders pick up 47, so you're down 97. 96 with the trailer. And target 2 traders are down 142. Soybeans stop at 11.21 flat. Just barely got ticked out of that. Short trade on unleaded. All right, we got targets 2, 3, and 4 on that, and trailed up somewhere above target 2 again. And now we go short on the micro NQ. So this is trade number 6. This is our final trade of the morning. Win, lose, or draw. And wow, quick pop down. And now it goes through targets 2 and 3, and we're trailing strongly. So that's our 3rd win after a couple losses. Well, that's right. We wouldn't even be in these. 3rd straight win now. This will be the last one that I track. Let's see what we did over here on. That was a break even. No trade, loss. That was a second loss. Win. Targets 3 and 4. And we get a 3-4, a nice trailer on that one. So that is win number 2. That's 5 trades on the Micro Russell on Catapult. And there's another tick on the Pound Aussie. Stop moves up to 154. Let's see, what did we do on that? 18, 27, 37, and 47. Not bad. So we get 45, 70, 82, 129. 129 ticks on the targets, and we're now at 50, 124 ticks on the trailer. No, not, I'm sorry, that's not right. 42 ticks on the trailer. So so far we're like 170 pips positive if we stopped out at this point. Micro Russell getting all 4 targets. There's our possible 6th trade. Does trigger in. So it is our 6th trade. This one's a larger trade. Let's see where we are. Yeah, this one's going to come to target 2 for target. A big wick on this. All right, I'm going to be done with micro NQ, so I'll put fruit unleaded back down here where it belongs, since we will have a 10 o'clock crude session. Soybeans still just kind of hanging around. Targets 1 and 2 in hand. Trailer at 11.21 flat still. Crude is flat. Unleaded with another short. And we take a stop and reverse exit for a small loss, for a pretty good sized loss. It's actually bigger than a normal full loss. So that is the 6th trade. 3 wins, 2 wins, 3 losses, and a break even. Although the wins were solid, so well, it's probably going to be slightly down with that big loss on the final trade. Pound Aussie to 158. So 46 on the trailer. $175 total on the trade at this point. Let's see, what do we have? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is trade 5 on unleaded. Just hit target 1 again. So what do we get out of this one? Another 42. And we said we're down 96, so that's down 54. Trailer already moving down at 361, 368 or 9. Entry was 369, so 8 ticks already on the trailer. And stopping out. We can take one more on unleaded. Soybeans stop moves down a tick. 11.20 3/4. Less than 2 minutes from the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Crude, pound Aussie, soybeans. One more trade on unleaded are all we have left. Everything else is done. I say all we have left. That's half of our trade plans. 7 charts, 8 trade plans. We do mini sessions on crude. And this will be our second mini session. Starting, should be just over a minute. Yep. 1 minute. So let's see, we got 12 ticks. No, 16 ticks for target 2. We were down 142. That's going to bring us to 126. So down 46 for target 1. And we are in our 10 o'clock session. Unleaded, pound Aussie stop moves up to 163. So that is going to be 51 ticks on the trailer. 180 ticks on the trade, or 180 pips rather on the trade, with still trailing. No new trades on crude yet. There is a final and short on unleaded. That would be our final trade. Wow, pound Aussie moving on. 179. That's 20 pips beyond target 4. 67 to 129. 196. And unleaded back to its entry again. 184. That's 201 ticks on this trade, pips on this trade. If it comes back and stops out right here. See if crude can push down. Wow. 193. That's 210 pips. So where are we going from here? Aussie doing wonderfully today. Soybeans making another downward push now. Setting a new session low at 17 and a quarter, and that's where it is right now. Stop down to 1120 flat. 16 and 3/4. Need 16 and a half for target 3. 1 tick away. Another stop move down to 19 and a quarter. And another pip on the pound Aussie, 211. Unleaded still kind of going sideways, as is crude. Consolidating this down move a bit. Still 4 active charts. There is a stop and reverse exit. 26.31. And hit, just barely holding in at the moment. Stayed in by a tick. And just stopping out. So minimal loss there, but a losing session on unleaded. There is a long trade on crude. $59.21. And up to 199 for pound Aussie stop. $2.16. And setting new session highs. Like, it's been setting session highs all through this trade. Fortunate not to be in that unleaded trade because that looks like it's going to go for a full loss. No, maybe not. Yeah, it did. It stopped out. So the unleaded chart is done. That was its 6th trade. Target 3 on soybeans. 18 3/4 for the stop. So soybeans picking up 10, 16, and 22, 26, 48, 12 points on the targets. And we go from 22 flat to 18 3/4, 3 1/4 points right now on the trailer. Pound Aussie stopping out 204, 221 pips. Yeah, 2037 was the low, so we definitely stopped out. very successful one and done session. 221 was it? Yeah, 221 pip trade. All 4 targets, and a trailer twice the target 4. Crude not sure where it wants to go yet. So soybeans, let's see. Pound Aussie's done. Soybeans still in the trade. Unleaded is done. So we're down to crude and soybeans. Soybeans in the bottom right. Crude top center. In our first crude trade. Kind of a rough morning all around. Micro Russell, Micro NQ. Actually, Micro NQ did well. Should definitely have been positive. Micro Russell was going to be even to slightly negative. Tough morning on the YM. Tough morning on unleaded. 9 a.m. crude was successful. Pound Aussie very successful. Soybeans very successful. Another tick on the soybean stop. 18.5. And there's another move down to 18 flat. And that is now 4 points on the trailer. 12 points on targets. At $50 a point per contract. So single contract positions, 4 single contract positions, it's an $800 trade. Stop and reverse on crude. That's, well, yeah, it's going to be $58.99 with key level. And we still got triggered in. So we need to go to 89 for our money management. Because of the adjustment, 10 tick minimum. And that is going to be our target. That's target 1. So That's where it'll be. Not a big trade, but so we go from 21 to 99, loss of 22 ticks, or 22 tick risk on the stop and reverse. So a loss of 44. All right. Crude very close to the entry. Soybeans in a little bit of a consolidation. See where things go. Will crude get below $59? Crude doesn't know where it wants to go. No change on soybeans. Those are our active charts right now. Crude kind of going sideways, back and forth. Support at $59. And resistance seems to be around 59.20. That's a third touch of 59.21. And we get a long setup at 59.21. So we would stop and reverse at 59 at the full stop out, 59.23. Show the stop and entry on the stop and reverse there. That actually would just be an exit. So that would be our two losses. And soybeans picks up another tick. 17.5. 4.5 points. Yeah, swing to 21, 2 to 20. Definitely some resistance there on crude. So now the question is, which way does it break? Okay, we're still in the short with the stop and reverse adjustment for crude. So soybeans is short, crude is short. Soybeans stop moving down to 16 3/4. Five and a quarter points. 17 and a quarter total on the trade now. And another stop move. 16 flat. Six points on the trailer, 18 on the trade. Still short on crude. All right, we're almost 30 minutes in our second trade on crude. Calculator is going to be tracking the long, but we're still short. $15.25, another 3-tick move. 6 3/4 points. $18 3/4 points. Over 900 for the trade. Town close here would give us another quarter, take us to 19 points total. Yeah, I would bring that stop down to 90. Yeah, 95. It's not worth a 4-tick adjustment to 94, but I'll definitely give it 3 to get around that session low. That's 1 tick below the session. The stop is 1 tick above the session low. And there is a short trade at 97. Oh, that was the stop for the long anyway. We aren't in the long. We're still in the short. So we're looking for, that's right, we're in the short from 99. There's where we actually are. $59 still providing support. Pick up that tick on soybeans. So we're at 19 points on the trade, $950 on full 4-position trade, single contract positions. All right. Crude is short. We're down through the 59, 58, yeah, $59 mark. And see if you can. We got to 94. Not doing much for us there. And back above $59. Crude doesn't look like it's going very far. Yeah, still just stuck at $59 on crude. Another tick on soybeans. 14 3/4 for the stop. 19 1/4. 19 1/4 points on the trade at this point. All right, crude breaking down through. There's money management and target one, 10 ticks. We do, what did I say, 44 tick loss in the first trade. And then get 36 back. So if we can get to target two is 81. Actually, no, that's not right. So it's at 10 and 18, 28. So we'll be down 16. Needing another trade. Got within one. Don't fight over that last tick. If it gets down there, give it kind of maybe 2 or 3 and mark it out of that position. In this case, it's close the trade. There's no use risking back to the break-even stop at 98 would be the break-even stop. There's no use in risking back to that. So I would say mark it out of that would have been within 2 ticks of the target. So we're down 18. And our stop is right there where the balance line is, 98. Soybean gets another tick. And big move, big step there, 13 and a half. That's 8.5 points, 20 and a half. That is $1,025 at this point. Looking for a trade on crude. We only got 15 more minutes in the session. Our mini session runs 10 to 11. 3 trade max. So we've got one more trade to take. I would definitely have taken profit on that one, getting within 1 tick of target and coming back down, getting within 2 a second time. Okay, we did get to 98, stopped out. The yellow short is still valid, so we could get in sync with that. Stop is up at 23 where our previous stop was. It got up to 98. Stopped us out of the existing longs or short. So we get in sync with the short. In all likelihood, we're still get in sync at this point. Soybeans stopped down to 12 3/4. 21 1/4 points total. Okay, long trade on crude. That's going to be an exit point from the short at 03, which we hit, and that ends the crude session. It's going to be negative. So that's a small negative session. I got my 44 tick loss. So 10 and 6, call it 16, 26 tick win. So we're down 18. 97.03 is another 612. Down 30 ticks on the session. That session. Soybeans is still in the short at 12 3/4. Over 21 points now. So a very successful trade. This is power quitting trade, obviously. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. We will see you next Tuesday. That's our last session for this week. We'll come back and do it again Tuesday. Regular schedule Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, crude oil inventory report at 10:30 a.m. Actually, that may not be correct next week. Let me check a calendar. All right. Nothing much going on. We will see everybody next week.